Makes no sense. The laws need to change. What state allows people to own another person's money and account and threaten them and saying, you can't spend your money unless you do what we want you to do, and I'm paying them. Ma'am, I've worked since I was 17 years old. You have to understand how thin that is for me. Every morning I get up to know I can't go on somewhere unless I meet people I don't know every week in an office identical to the one where the therapist was very abusive to me. I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive. And now we can sit here all day and say, oh, conservatorships are here to help people. But ma'am, there's 1,000 conservatorships that are abusive as well. I don't feel like I can live a full life. I don't owe them to go see a man I don't know and share him my problems. I don't even believe in therapy. I always think you take it to God. I want to end the conservatorship without being evaluated. In the meantime, I want this therapist once a week. He can either come to my home. No, I just want him to come to my home. I'm not willing to go to Westlake and be embarrassed by all these paparazzi, these scummy paparazzi laughing at my faces while I'm crying, coming out and taking my pictures as all these white, nice dinners where people drinking wine at restaurants, watching me leave these places. They set me up by sending me to the most exposed places, and I told them I didn't want to go there because I knew paparazzi would show up there. They only gave me 2 options for therapists, and I'm not sure how you make your decisions, ma'am, but this is the only chance for me to talk to you for a while. I need your help. So if you can just kind of let me know where your head is. I don't really honestly know what to say, but my requests are just to end the conservatorship without being evaluated. I want a petition basically to end the conservatorship, but I want it to be petition to end it, but I don't want to be evaluated and be sat in a room with people 4 hours a day like they did me before. And they made it even worse for me after that happened. So I'm honestly new at this, and I'm doing research on all these things. I do know common sense and the method that things can end. For people, it has ended without them being evaluated. So I just want you to take that in consideration. I've also done research. Also took a year during COVID to get me any self-care methods during COVID. She said there were no services available. She's lying, ma'am. My mom went to the spa twice in Louisiana during COVID. For a year, I didn't have my nails done, no hairstyling and no massages, no acupuncture, nothing for a year. I saw the maids in my home each week with their nails done different each time. She made me feel like my dad does, very similar, her behavior and my dad, but just a different dynamic. Team wants me to work and stay home instead of having longer vacations. They are used to me sort of doing a weekly routine for them, and I'm over it. I don't feel like I owe them anything at this point. They need to be reminded they actually work for me. They tricked me by sending me to the, okay, I repeated myself there. Also, I was supposed to be able to, I have a friend that I used to do AA meetings with. I did AA for 2 years. I have I did 3 meetings a week. I met a bunch of women there, and I'm not able to see my friends that live 8 minutes away from me, which I find extremely strange. I feel like they're making me feel like I live in a rehab program. This is my home. I'd like for my boyfriend to be able to drive me in his car. And I want to meet with a therapist once a week, not twice a week. And I want him to come to my home because I actually know I do need a little therapy. I was told, hold on. I think that's, and I would like to progressively move forward.
Então, Britney revelou que seus tratadores a forçaram a ter um dispositivo intra-uterino, DIU, dentro dela para evitar que ela engravidasse.
ID inside of myself right now so I don't get pregnant. I wanted to take the ID out so I could start trying to have another baby, but this so-called team won't let me go to the doctor to take it out because they don't want me to have any more children. So basically this conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. I deserve to have a life. I've worked my whole life. I deserve to have a 2 to 3 year break and just, do what I want to do. But I do feel like there is a crunch here, and I feel like I feel open and I'm okay to talk to you today about it, but I wish I could stay with you on the phone forever, because when I get off the phone with you, all of a sudden, I hear all these no's, no, no, no. And then all of a sudden I feel ganged up on, and I feel bullied, and I feel left out and alone. And I'm tired of feeling alone. I deserve to have the same rights as anybody does by having a child, a family, any of those things, and more so. And that's all I wanted to say to you. And thank you so much for letting me speak to you today.
Oh, Ms. Spears, you're quite welcome. And also, I just want to tell you that I certainly am sensitive to everything that you said and how you're feeling. And I know that it took a lot of courage for you to say everything you had to say today. And I want to let you know that the court does appreciate your coming on the line and sharing how you're feeling.
Okay, well, thank you so much for, giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
You're certainly welcome. Mr. Ingham, you know that there are methods to get conservatorship terminated. If that's something that you're looking at doing, you can certainly file a petition for the court to consider that.
Your Honor, it's difficult for me to respond to that issue without breaching attorney-client privilege, and so therefore I won't even try to touch on that issue. I am concerned about several of the issues that my client has raised here, and I think that the other family members and fiduciaries here will doubtless want to weigh in some fashion. If my client directs me to file a petition to terminate, I'm happy to do that. So far, she has not done that. That's the most that I will say about that issue. With regard to the issue of private counsel or replacing me as her counsel, I am happy to take guidance from the court as to how you would like to set that issue up and how you would like to deal with it. So I will not make any comment other than the fact that I serve at the pleasure of the court, and if the court decides that I should be replaced by someone else, then that's fine with me, however the court wants to handle that. And I suspect that Ms. Montgomery or her counsel will want to respond on the medical side, but from my point of view, in a procedural sense, I think it's obvious to me that we have a disagreement between my client and the conservator of her person, temporary conservator of her person, as to her current care plan. And so it seems to me that the simple way to resolve that issue is to have the conservator of the person file a proposed care plan, set it for hearing, and have my client have a chance to address it and deal with it. It seems like we're past the point that it can be negotiated between the two of them. So I believe that that's about all I would want to say at this point, and would defer to other counsel to respond to their perspective.
Mr. Ingham, thank you. And I certainly don't want you to get into the attorney-client discussions, obviously, between you and Ms. Spears. You actually foreshadowed something that I made a note to myself about the issue about that Ms. Spears raised about the treatment, and I was going to ask Ms. Wright and Ms. Montgomery, and I think certainly following that care plan.
Apoie o nosso canal enquanto tira o melhor proveito dele. Navegue por todo o canal sem anúncios. Baixe o e-book do Intelligence and Fate, mais os próximos e-books, e tenha acesso a documentários exclusivos para membros sem censura. Torne-se assinante, clicando no botão Seja Membro.